What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to your week and had a good weekend behind you. We're going to go through some Plarium news today, and yeah, we're going to be talking about the upcoming progressive events for the next day or two. We also have this 40 Ancient Shard guarantee for Indalia, which is a piece for Mikage. Stupid Plarium kind of putting this event like outside of CBC, which is kind of like, why? It's such a small thing. Just put it towards CBC. It would have been kind of nice just for some extra points. CBC is going to be non-personal reward CBC, so it's not a big deal, but it still would have been nice for some people, I'm sure. A quick look at the calendar for events to come. We do have a Spooky Soul Summon Pool event, so probably with some Halloween champions maybe. But there's going to be some of these prism pieces available in the Sand Devil event that is showing up right now, but it's not active yet, as well as a champion event that's going to be happening in a couple days. So at least we'll get, you know, 2 cracks at the Soulstone for the Prism Soul event. After that, it's just basically the events for the fusion. With the progressive events that we have happening tomorrow, I'll bring up the news bit here. So it's going to be starting tomorrow. It's going to be 2 separate progressive events, each event lasting 24 hours. The first one will have Grand O Pogridge, Lady Kimmy, Pythion, Owella up for grabs. These are, you know, good champions. They're going to start off with a 15x, which means you have roughly about a 7.5% chance to get the desired champion. So if you wanted, for example, Lady Kimmy, if you pull legendary, you're going to get a 7.5% chance of getting Lady Kimmy exactly. The chances to get a legendary will be normal rates. So, for example, if you pull a Sacred Shard, you only get 6% chance at pulling a legendary. And then if you do, then you have 7.5% chance of pulling Kimmy. For the Void legendaries, you have Cardiel and then Asna Amberheart. And then on day 2, you have Arman's, Elva, Kaeya, Lady of Erith. And then for the voids, you have Sulfurion and Damante Coppercoin. So quickly go over some of these champions here real quick. So again, on day 1, you have Grand O Podrick, one of the better or one of the best maybe ally attack champions in the game. Very versatile champion, brings a passive that gives all the types their corresponding buffs, which is really good per turn. He comes with a cleanse with a turn meter boost and then a full team ally attack. His A1 also cannot be underestimated with the decreased cooldown for 2 turns, which is very strong. After that, we do have Lady Kimmy from the Shadowkin faction. Lady Kimmy is still a pretty cool champion, especially with like bombs and stuff in live arena. She brings the decreased speed, decreased accuracy, and then she brings block buffs, increased accuracy, increased speed, which is very good for the bomb champions, just to give them a bit more accuracy to land their stuff. 115 base speed makes her a great champion to build as your fastest champion. But yeah, so she's really good. After that, we have Pythion. Pythion was an old fusion back in the day, almost 2 years ago, I think. There he is, very tanky, one of the best fusions of all time probably. Brings the team revive with the strengthen. Great passive that boosts the damage reduction of your whole team. Cleanse and block debuffs, and an A1 heal. Great base stats as well. Great champion, and up for grabs on day 1. Lastly, for the non-voids from the Sylvan Watchers, we have Owella, another fusion from the past. Very good champion, great healer. Big turn meter fill here, increased resistance, and then big heal here with a buff extension. Pretty good champion. Actually, I've never used her myself, but I always seen her show up in a bunch of comps. Definitely very useful, especially for a support champion, especially in the mid game. Very big heals and a 100% decreased speed on the A1. Very important, especially for bosses, for example. Great base speed as well. Moving on to the Void champions, we got Sacred Order here. We are looking for Cardio. I love Cardio. I would love Cardio on my main account. I have him on my alt account, and he's a super hard carry. One of the best champions. I mean, overall, like rounded wise, he's very good. Brings the 3-turn block debuffs with the full team cleanse and then the full revive on death. It's one of the higher value 3-turn cooldown block debuff champions. Also bringing the A1 team heal, which is really nice for team survivability. And then bringing a full team ally attack with the crit rate, crit damage boost. And then having a little bit of extra value here from the decreased cooldown of the skill if it kills an enemy. And then speed in all battles, great kit overall. Base stats are solid. That's cardio. Has a partner bonus with Sisia, but you don't really see that too often. You can also put in some extra damage as well with his counter-attacking and counterattacks whenever your team attacks. So you can put in quite a bit of damage as well if you build him up for damage. Lastly, for day one, we're going to the dwarves. We do have Asna Amberheart here. I did playtest her on the tester when she first came out. Very, very fun champion. It has a cool passive here that benefits off continuous heals. She gives a ton of turn meter if you can pair her up with continuous heal champions. Brings a team revive, which is interesting, and then it does a ally attack on the lowest HP enemy. It's actually a little interesting. You don't really use this move for that, but it could be a little bit of extra damage when you least expect it. Her A2 brings increased speed and then continuous heals, and then turn meter fill and a 3-turn cooldown. She can keep your team going fast. She can keep your team going fast. She has great base speed right out of the gate, and then the speed aura as well. Generally a pretty good support champion. She's up for grabs on day one. Moving on to day two, looking at the GOAT fusion here, we got Arman's. We all know Arman's. He's a menace. If you don't have him in from the fusion, he's definitely a massive pull. If you pull him from a shard, AoE stun, turn meter steal, not just drop, steal, cheap, and strip on his A3. Fat arena aura here, great base speed as well. Just a menace. Moving on, we got Elva Autumnborn on day two. Elva, yeah, I think she's part of the welcome back package. She's still a very good champion. She's one of the first champions that were offered up for sacreds only. 20 sacred shards back in the day, which seems like a good deal now, but she was one of the last, first and last sacred only champions. But they've offered other, ways to get sacred only champions as well in Deck of Fates and stuff. But she was strictly a sacred only event champion. She brings the single target revive with the buffs, increased defense, increased attack, full team cleanse with the increased speed, and then the block debuffs as well. Very annoying perfect veil here, as well as the heals happening, and then the team speed in all battles. Very good champion, a bit underrated, maybe because she's free, but she's a very good champion overall. Great base speed. Off to the Banner Wars here, we got Kaeya the Rye. Kaeya the Rye is actually a very good support champion. Right here, I forgot what happened with her. I skipped her, and maybe I didn't have shards when she was up for grabs in the Deck of Fate, but maybe I skipped her. Fills turn meter here, removes 2 random, almost, a team cleanse, partial cleanse, turn meter fill, and she has a revive here with the increased crit rate, increased crit damage, and she has reduction to turn meter effects. Which is pretty cool. And then she brings the speed in all battles champion. Very, very good base speed as well. She's great just for general supports. You can kind of see the theme here with these champions that are up for grabs. Most of them are doing cleansing, they're doing turn meter boosting, lots of support, lots of revivers. Moving back to the Sylvan Watchers here, we got Lady of Earth also up for grabs. She was recently kind of reworked or rebuffed a little bit. She's actually really, really good. Kind of made her way into some Trunda teams for Hydra. With this ability here, brings the strength and continuous heal, and then also decrease cooldown of all allies except this champion by 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown, which is solid. This is a highlight of her kit. You can definitely find a lot of uses for it. Very, very good champion. Also brings a single target cleanse here as well, with some healing and then some continuous heals activation on her A1. Great champion, actually works out pretty well for a lot of support situations. Onto the Void champions, we have Sulfurion. I actually just picked this up on my alt account. This guy is actually really insane, has a really strong kit. Team Revive here on a 5-turn cooldown, giving you an extra turn, so basically a 4-turn cooldown. And then he has a placing HP burn, so you can go through Poison Cloud or Affinity, but he's Void Affinity anyways. And then instantly activates it as well. also provides a shield, which gives you some survivability. His A1 gives a turn meter fill, as well as fills your whole team with turn meter as well, so it gives your team more turns. Very, very good champion. I don't think he's underrated. If anything, his value has gone up because of Teox. He's a team reviver that's not Pythion. Also brings the HP burns here, which further boosts the power of Teox. Also has a passive here that gives the team more turn meter and more survivability with the heals. This is a really, really good champion, great support champion overall. Lastly, for the Void champions on day 2, we have this guy, Damante Copper Coin. Again, a lot of turn meter stuff happening from these champions. Has turn meter boost here, increased duration of all buffs, so another extender type champion. Also places 3 intercept stacks on one target, places increased resistance and strengthen on a 3-turn cooldown. This is actually a really cool move. 3 intercept stacks is a lot. You can kind of see him maybe get used in like Hydra or something, but so far I don't think a lot of people have this guy just because he's void. It's kind of hard to test, but I think definitely able to maybe come up with something with this guy to make him really, really cool. It's an AoE on the A1, gives him a little bit more utility for Hydra. Has an interesting passive here that kind of converts debuffs into buffs, has a chance to anyways, when they are placed on Copper Coin. So, not really like immunity, but pretty cool way of turning like a weakness into a strength. And then of course comes with 20% speed in all battles. Aura, great base speed for this champion. Yeah, I mean, some interesting pool of champion coming up for CBC. Not sure if it interests anybody here, but definitely be on the lookout for those if you guys are interested. As always, if you guys are looking to pull for CBC, I don't really recommend it unless you guys are close to Mercy or if you guys have a particular reason to target one of these champions. I'll pull up the list here for you guys one more time. Keep in mind, like I said, the odds of pulling one specific champion is about 7.5%. For voids, it's much higher. It's probably closer to 20%. But I don't think these champions are probably worth using your void mercy on. Like Cardio's really good, Sulfurion's really good. But I don't know. It really depends. It really depends what you want to use them for. I could see somebody really wanting Sulfurion to go with Teox, for example, or a Lizard only team if they're really into Siege, for example. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I will be streaming at the beginning of CBC, so if you guys are interested, make sure you guys drop by the channel. Otherwise, have a great rest to your Monday. Hopefully you guys will be having a good one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.